Hello, this is Dr. J back with some more Let's Play Advance Wars Days of Ruin. It's a new day. I'm somewhat less tired. Whether that will make a difference, who knows? Onward to Mission 10, Day of Rest. I don't think it will be very restful. Ten levels, eh? You know, that could be a fun RPG dungeon. Clearing out a monster-infested nuclear shelter. Of course, the politicians have to make sure that they're taken care of in the event that they start a nuclear war. And suddenly we're attacked. That's a little weird, Dr. Moritz. I just love experimenting on rats. Garg! Gra! Garg! Drakov, you need to get some new dialogue, buddy. When am I finally gonna get to kill this guy? I mean, he was already, you know, a few knives short of a drawer to begin with. And I think whatever berserker drug he got from the other bad guys has fried what was left of his brain. Okay. Oh, this time we're Ed, apparently. So is Ed actually the one commanding the forces right now? Because it seems like it would be O'Brien. And I still don't know if there's actually any gameplay difference depending on who's in command. Pretty sure the tutorials haven't said anything about that. Okay, it's the usual. So we probably want to retreat these guys. I don't think that they'll do much except get killed. Well, they'll get killed anyway as they try to retreat. So maybe I should just get off some first strike damage. Oh, right, animations are off. There we go. I guess I can probably save the recon. And maybe this guy. This guy was clearly screwed no matter what, so might as well do a piddling amount of damage first. As for the rest of you, forward men. We've got an airfield we can capture. Which we will do immediately. And we have one that we already control. I'm not seeing any ground factories, so I guess all the reinforcements we produce are going to have to be air units. We have anti-air missiles, but I don't see any enemy... Never mind, there's enemy aircraft up here. Ah, here's the nuclear shelter. I see, I see. Alright, well let's bring our missiles up in that direction. There's a ground factory right there. Rather than capping this, I'm going to want to send that guy up there to capture the factory right away. Alright, so we've got an enemy interceptor, fighter, and a couple battle helis, while we have 2 fighters, a battle heli, and an interceptor, so that's a slight advantage to us. in terms of an air-to-air battle. How far can that interceptor get? Right to about that line. Okay, we can't fly over the shelter for some reason. Seems legit. Also, it just shows us a static screen there. Unit movement not possible. Don't know why airplanes can't fly over a nuclear shelter, but they cannot. Okay, Garg. That was some overkill, buddy. What? I'm real confused as to what's happening. Were Dr. Moritz and Catley a part of that infantry group? I'm real confused as to what just happened. Aren't they in the nuclear shelter? Like, what's going on? I feel like the game isn't communicating what's happening very clearly here. I assume Dr. Moritz and Catley didn't really just die in such a pathetic manner that they didn't even get an on-screen death. Just out of range of my interceptor, huh? Why am I not surprised? Cut them off, since it looks like they want to go for our ground forces. We'll move to join them. And make it basically impossible for them to attack our ground forces without coming in range of our own aircraft. And let's make sure that you can't get inside the dead zone of the missiles, because that drives me nuts. Oh, we had a ground factory right here all along. I probably had a unit on top of it, which is why I didn't notice. I might save up for a bomber. Once we take care of this anti-air and this interceptor, he won't have anything that can do squat against bombers. Though he could always build something out of his airport, I suppose. Alright, well let's do some pulling. Let them come to us. I guess you can go up here and do some resupplying. Really keeping his aircraft out of my reach. Very determined to do that. I could move in and get first strike on his tank, but then my tank would get obliterated. It's like a Mexican standoff here. Well, if you'll just sit back and let me capture a bunch of cities and get a big production advantage over you, then I'll happily do it. Alright, you know what? Screw it. Let's either force him to come to our aircraft, in which case we'll actually be able to counterattack him, or force his aircraft to retreat even more. Pretty sure that the anti-air can't get in the mountains, yeah. That seems fine. So his aircraft decided to retreat even further, or farther, kind of taking them out of the fight, I reckon. No, that was not as effective as I'd have hoped. You'd think that missiles would be pretty good against vehicles. Guess I should have checked to see what % damage I would inflict. No, don't capture that. What about you? 3%. Good grief. Why is all my stuff so useless against this anti-air? Bazooka should be good, right? Yeah. Get out of here. Sitting just outside of range. I could send in my fighters to start wrecking some stuff if he's just going to leave himself wide open like that. Though, as we learned, fighters are somewhat useless because they're really bad against anything with armor. Yeah, they're very poor. All they can really do here is maybe shoot down his transport heli and harass his infantry, but might as well. Should be fairly safe to bring my anti-air missiles forward a bit. I wonder when we're going to get to build bigger tanks. The heavies and the mega tanks. That has been exclusive to the enemy for a fair number of missions now. So what have we got? A bunch of aircraft and artillery. A tank. Heck with it. Let's just go with... Where'd they go? There's a lot of stuff in this list. There it is. Tank! Maybe a battle heli. Alright, what you got next, Garg? Now his aircraft come forward. inside the dead zone of my missiles, but not everything is. What's the range on my interceptor? Okay, so I'll have the missiles shoot down these battle helis. I've kind of written off my fighters to an extent, so I guess you can just suicide yourself. Because I'm sure that his anti-air will come forward and shoot my fighters down, but I'll let them do a little damage there. Interceptor. Let's see. Take out these battle helis. And these fighters can finish off these fighters. Finish off this infantry. Finish capping that. And this. The fight is going well. I'm still concerned about all that dialogue we got when that one infantry squad got destroyed. Like, were Kalia and Dr. Moritz really in that infantry squad and the game just made that clear as mud? So I'm going to be a little upset if that happens. And I wonder if... I mean, it seems real unlikely they would just die like that, right? You would think that Kalia at least would get a much more dramatic death. So I'm somehow skeptical that's what happened. I guess if that did happen, that means one of two things. Either there's a way to save that infantry squad and the game has a branching story, which would be pretty wild. I kind of doubt that. Or their deaths are inevitable and just part of the plot. But my guess is they didn't die at all. That's not what actually happened. We'll see. We'll see once we finish this mission. You can join the fight faster like this. I am now joined by my cat. Alright, that went pretty well. Pretty pleased with that. Let's get another battle heli. Attack choppers were very good in Reboot Camp as well. We kind of make a target out of this guy to start capping this, and I don't know that there'd be much point to doing that. What else has he got to do, though? Not much. Go for it. Be a hero. Drawing a lot of fire. Ah, finally drew out his interceptor. I've been wanting to do that. Where did my airfield go? There it is. Right, I built a battle heli on it. Derp-a-derp. My bomber's pretty messed up. Be faster to just build a new one rather than wait for that to repair. So you know what? You get to have a suicide mission. Finish off this artillery. Geez. A lot of this stuff is so damaged, it would take so long to repair it. I'd kind of rather just send them on suicide missions and let them do a little damage first. That's the thing, once something is down to like 2 hit points, it's basically useless, but it would take so long to repair it that hardly feels worth it. Anyway. Actually, is this interceptor? It is. It's in range of my missiles. Finish off the tanks, I reckon. My interceptor doesn't have much to do now that we have control of the air. Alright, we're taking pretty decisive control here. You know, considering you keep sending them on these pointless suicide missions, where do you keep getting these bandits to obey your commands, Garg? Fighters don't impress me much in this game. Yeah, I'm just sending a lot of hurt stuff on what are basically harassment suicide missions. Like I said, once something's down to 2 or 3 hit points, repairing it takes so long it hardly feels worthwhile. Sure, more battle helis, they're pretty useful. I need to get my tanks in there if he's going to build anti-airs. What's the problem? Oh, you're a bomber. That's the problem. I'll tell you what, sit on this so he can't build anything on it. You're just kind of in the way where you're at. Fine, pull back. %'s not bad. Man, that mega tank kind of reminds me of like the final boss from Under Defeat or something. I can definitely see fighting that in an old school style shoot 'em up. Top-down view one, especially. I'm gonna do some playthroughs of some classic shoot-em-ups on my channel at some point. There's just so many more things I would love to LP than than I have time for. But anyway, this is the game we're playing now, so let's focus on it. There, finally finished those guys off. Kind of took a while. Bloody fighting, to be sure. 12% hardly feels worth it. Well, it's another situation where it's like, what else have you got to do? Go for it. It's not like they took much damage in response, so... what next? What next? All the battle helis, because they're effective and very mobile. Let's get another bomber. Nice. We're grinding him down. Old crazy Garg here is going to resist to the bitter end, as the CPU always does. And in Garg's case, he has a story reason to do it. It's because he's gone completely insane. But it's been clear for several turns that our victory is inevitable. Should probably attack that with a tank instead. Oh, this tank's starting to get pretty hurt. I could combine it with this one. Although they can't because they're separated from each other, so before we can combine them, we've got to clear the way. So what happens if you combine an ace with someone at rank 1? Guess we'll find out. You finish this. Okay, let's try something for science. Or do I want to... No, that's full strength. We wouldn't destroy it. Okay, they're both aces. Interesting. I feel like you could maybe pull off some high-level strats with that knowledge. Well, this guy will get torn up by the AA, but... really want to take out that mega tank. Alright. Making progress. Oh, are you at 1 hit point? Yeah, you're pretty screwed. I guess you can start capping this. Do you have a better use? Well, you are a bazooka. You're pretty good against vehicles, so maybe let's move you in. You might as well start capping this. You don't have any other motorbikes to combine with. So guess what? You get to just be a potential target. Congratulations. Let's get a tank. Tank. You might as well sit on the airfield and attack the transport heli. Ineffectually. Oh, you could combine with this one. There we go. 4 is still not very effective, but hey. It's better than 2. I might be able to combine some battle helis as well, yeah. Like, I could combine this with, well, Or that one is full strength, so not that one. There we go, that one. There, see? Lessons learned from my playthrough of Reboot Camp, where there were mechanics I basically ignored for the whole playthrough, like combining units and resupplying things with my APCs. I might have made a target, yeah. I'm not sure I wanted to do that, because it kind of put that AA in a annoying position. But it is within range of this tank. There, bomber, deal with it. Tired of your existence. Should have just killed it with the bomber in the first place, maybe. Can you guys kill the mega tank? Finally. Oh, that thing has a nice explosion animation. I dig it. He built yet another anti-air. It's a smart thing to build with all the helis I'm making. Sit on this factory. Okay, the anti-air is all that's left. This bomber is nearly dead. I sent my tank northward to attack that anti-air. I don't think a recon's gonna do much against an anti-air. No, basically nothing. Can bottle it in a little bit, or box it in, rather. Now it'll probably go for this damaged fighter, if I were to guess, which would put it in range of this tank. And then the bomber could finish it. That seems reasonable. And I guess just for fun. There we go. Oh. For crying out loud, just surrender already, Garg. It's been clearly over for quite a long while now. Just to get you out of the way. You might even be able to finish it. Ah, the tank can't quite get in there. Alright, well, let's box it in. Finish it off next turn. Hey, you actually did it. Well done to you. That just goes to show how long that's been going on. It is over, Garg. When did he build this? I didn't even notice. Should just go for an HQ capture at this rate. Now is it over? Yes. Oh, I wanted to be the one to take him out. Okay, I didn't think it was likely that they had died. That would have been so much better communicated if instead of an infantry squad, they had a special civilian unit. And then it wouldn't have been so confusing. It would have been obvious, oh, there's the civilians that are under attack, that I should probably try to protect them. Though the way the map was designed, it looked borderline impossible to protect that particular infantry unit anyway. Though, you know, I don't know, maybe it could have been possible. Anyway, looks like we S-ranked it. Okay, that's surprising. Dr. Moritz, that was kind of a dick move. You don't really joke with people about, like, a friend of theirs possibly being dead. There are appropriate jokes, and then sometimes you're just kind of a dick for joking about something. That said, you're forgiven because you successfully saved Catlia's life, so good job. Yeah, kinda. Oh, Dr. Moritz. This guy. He really is a bit unbelievable. Your social skills, Dr. Moritz. You've spent too much time in your lab with your rats. I have heard that a patient's will to live is a non-trivial factor in whether they pull through, something like that. I wouldn't know from experience, thankfully. Report to you? Since when are you O'Brien's boss? God, this guy. Oh my gosh. Why are we still putting up with this dude? He's just gonna steal them all and run away. This guy. This guy's the real monster. No, it's not reasonable. Screw this guy. Well, you know what they say about democracy. It's, two wolves and a sheep deciding what's for dinner. A lot of truth to that, actually. Oh my gosh, this guy. Kinda, maybe. You're kinda making me feel that way, actually, Mayor. Yeah, exactly. No, it doesn't. As you pointed out, we are the ones with the weapons. Screw you guys. Let's go military dictatorship for the win on these jerks. I don't see his hand up. Or his. Oh, are the civilians here actually on our side? Hey, there are actually people among the civilians who aren't totally worthless human feces. That's great. Good job. Well done to all of you. This is an unexpected development. I approve of this. This guy's gonna betray us. You know, it's interesting. This game's story, it sort of touches on interesting topics. And it does so in a pretty interesting way. It definitely has more nuance and depth than the story of Reboot Camp, which was basically a Saturday morning cartoon. So this is certainly the more serious of the game story-wise. We always have to call her First Lieutenant every time. It's just kind of rude eavesdropping on people, Lynn. Yeah, exactly. Oh boy, now we have the very messy job of trying to hash out some kind of societal structure and government we can all live under. Okay, rule number 1, that mayor, he's fired and he never has power over anything. Maybe he can be the shelter dog catcher. Oh, we get a special artwork for this. Alright, we did it. Interesting developments indeed. I'm glad that the civilians decided to be reasonable and side with us, and not that jerk-face mayor. Alright, well, from the looks of the mini-map, it looks like the next mission is going to have a major naval element. And also the fact that it's kind of there in the water, on the world map to the right. So that's going to be interesting. I guess we're going to get tutorialized on how naval combat works in this game. I'll see you then.